Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Forest of Squirrel Clan, where things have begun to get a little bit squirrely, since we have now moved Squirrel Clan from, the previous save files to the update, and now some very odd things seem to have happened that we will be reviewing in just a little bit here. But first off, I require all of you to go ahead and look at my adorable baby squirrels. Yes, that's right. Yes, look upon their tiny little faces and their itty bitty little toebeans. Oh, you guys. Although life has been so dramatic for Squirrel Clan, I personally cannot help but take hope and find inspiration in the fact that Chips and I, my beloved husband Chips and I, actually have found a little group of 3 baby squirrels who have been playing in a tree right around our apartment. So we've been going to see them a couple times a day just to see if they're out and playing, and we're getting cute videos of them. And oh my gosh, you guys are going to be seeing a lot more of these squirrels because they are so freaking precious. But as I reflected upon how absolutely adorable they were, and that I can hold all of you as a captive audience trapped to observe my adorable baby squirrels if you want your kitty drama of the day, I cannot help but hope that this is also a sign, perhaps from StarClan, if we want to start dabbling in the immersive roleplay again, that there will be a more positive future for Squirrel Clan soon. Or Salt Clan. Or any cat. I'll really take any cat at this point. Can we stop crying? It has been way too dramatic and sad lately, but I'm really hoping that now we're going to start going in a good direction, maybe. Except, when I hoped that, I showed up here and there's some really weird things happening. So, before anything else, we are going to note that there are indeed a couple of the casual encounters going on, and I'm wondering if we're even going to need the casual random generators anymore that just kind of give a very low level result, because the new events and the new socialization that happens each moon actually does an amazing job on its own, kind of tweaking those little relationships between the cats. We'll go ahead and we will roll the generators for the catchable encounters this time, and I'll definitely keep the generators for the medium and the more the engaging events and the major events, because that obviously would be really fun if, for instance, we've had cats save other cats' lives. Major event, if you ask me. They should have a big relationship shift as a result. But we'll have to see how the normal amazingness of this fantastic update, which yes, has finally caught up to Squirrel Clan, works with just casual relationships, and maybe we won't have to roll anymore. And I'll have to find something else to go ahead and make this an extremely overcomplicated roleplay immersive series. All right. But I also want to just let all of you know, as StarClan and Silver Pelt members, that I think something weird happened when I transferred the save files, and we might have some interesting twist going on unless I forgot something major. So if I forgot that there's a reason that we have a couple freshly grieving cats, could you remind me? Because I racked my little Seri brain and I could not figure out why we have 2 cats currently deep in grieving. So we'll visit with that in just a moment too, but first, let's go ahead and follow our wonderful Deputy Pouncebush up to visit with Chestnut Star, who apparently is sick with white cough. And I'm having a very long pause here because I don't remember that happening either. So I'm feeling kind of nervous for these cats, friends, but let's have a casual encounter as Pouncebush, surprised to have woken up that morning and gone to see how Chestnut Star is doing, to report what the patrols should be for the day and if they should keep a lookout for Moon Tuft, who has been seen along the edges. He found Chestnut Star coughing inside of her den, completely unexpectedly, with white cough of all things. So we're going to go ahead and we are going to roll a minor event relationship with him. I'm going to roll my dice of destiny. It says I have to pick the complicated one. So basically, they reacted. I could gain 1 romance. That's 1 point, maybe, I don't know. But because you can always do optional romance, in my opinion, because I think that definitely should be in your control all the time. But gained more like, but also dislike. 5 respect, 3 comfort, and some trust, but thankfully no jealousy. So I think that maybe Pouncebush noticed that Chestnut Star is clearly unwell today and was quite concerned. But you also know how he reacts to illness. Not well. He's going to like back up so fast he probably tripped over his own tail and ended up like doing a little like feet over head spin before he managed to go ahead and land a very far distance away from Chestnut Star's leader den and very distantly called out to see if she needed help. So I could see how that could get the dislike on both sides. Chestnut Star because he's being so dramatic and making such a big deal about it, and also Pouncebush because he is still very terrified of illness and the concept of death. He really has a lot that he wants to settle in his own heart and mind about StarClan and the purpose of life. And you know, maybe that's one of the reasons that he actually seeks the deputy position. And maybe that's one of the reasons that he realizes he does want to become stronger and hold his place as deputy. Because otherwise, like, he won't have 9 lives. Maybe he really, there's a little bit of selfishness out of the fear of dying that makes him wish for 9 lives. But I also do believe that he is a heartfelt deputy who does want the best for every cat in his clan, and he would make a good leader if we needed. But thankfully, we don't have to think about that, I hope, because Chestnut Star has 9 lives still, right? Everything's gonna be fine, I'm sure. And then we have another casual encounter going on down here with a little bit of a sideways twist that's gonna make things interesting with Bloom Coral and Prance Tail once again talking. I think Bloom Coral has heavily decided to go for Honey Wish at this point, or excuse me, Honey Wing at this point, and I'm pretty sure that Pouncebush and Prancetail have started to really kind of connect a little bit. No, I take that back. Pouncebush was trying to connect with Prancetail, and she basically seems to be really wanting to focus on her training right now, not relationships. But you know, Bloom Coral, he has his ways. He's very playful. He really has this charming air about him. So I could see how he might be able to convince her to go ahead and, I don't know, is there going to be a little bit of romance going on? Let me roll this. And the Dice of Destiny says that this event is going to be complicated. 0 romance. Holy cow! This was bad all the way down, and the odds for like such a bad, complicated event are actually pretty low. I'm going to have to just assume that Bloom Coral did indeed attempt. You know, he's got complicated feelings. It's kind of hard to figure out what he wants to do about Honeywing, and it's hard for him to really commit and follow through to only pursuing one of the relationships that makes his heart flutter. And so as a result, because Prancetail's been feeling just a little bit pressured, you know, like maybe she was kind of thinking it would be nice to have a relationship with Bloom Coral, but then look where that went, you know? He's chasing after Honey Wish, and you know what? Or Honey Wing, I'm sorry. Honey Wish was one of our cats in our Sims 3 Warrior Cat series, and I loved her. She was sassy. But Bloom Coral has been chasing after Honey Wing, and I think Prancetail, you know, it's starting to become a little bit more clear to her that maybe something is going on with Pouncebush and her. Like maybe something is going on there, but she does feel self-conscious that a lot of stuff has happened, and she has realized that she really wants to put an emphasis on becoming stronger rather than relationships. So Bloom Coral coming over, kind of experimentally flirty, even if he feels a bit conflicted with himself about that. Dislike gain, a little bit of respect because they do still respect each other, but comfort completely 5 out of 5 loss. Ow. And then 5 jealousy gained and 1 trust gained. Oof. Okay, that's actually, yeah, that's probably going to really have a big impact on their relationship. But all right, before we go ahead and we take a peek at their relationships, well, you know what? We'll take a peek at their relationships, and then I'm going to ask you guys a very critical question. Why are Autumn Fur and Time Fawn grieving again? Why? I panicked when I saw that Autumn Fur is currently grieving, and I frantically looked around, but Plum Kit is right here, still with the adorable feathers in her tail. everything should be fine, right? So I'm a little worried about that. But she is currently grieving. Why? And she's actually, like, she's very careful and she's having a little bit of, like, a panic, I think. So she's fortifying the camp walls for the 4th time this week and at the medicine cat den. And I was very confused about why she was there. Um, but she's actually there because she's grief-stricken. And she's freshly grief-stricken. And I panicked. I, like, looked over her family. You know, she's got Pepperkit up and oh my gosh, this family tree is so cool. This is so fun. It's so neat. So yeah, you can see her siblings, Chestnut Star and Plum Paw. They got to go ahead and live. Oh, I can't think about it. So many of our cats have been dying lately that I'm thinking I need to have a way that all of you could have a chance to go ahead and give them a second chance at life. But we'll revisit that subject later. But yes, Pepperkit is dead. Ooh, and she's disappointed in Eddie Leaf? What? But Eddie Leaf, she wants to get to know Time Fawn better. I mean, you know, that sounds normal. He's a really good, like, cat of the clan. And I don't think she has any kind of feelings for him. But Eddie Leaf, like, she's currently hurt from that hawk that really got her 3 moons ago. And that's not good. And if you notice, the medicine cat den is very crowded. The herb stores are overflowing though, and the medicine cats have little worry, which is great because we have 2 medicine cats now, Floodfern and Primrose Pelt, who is a good healer trainee medicine cat. And I'm really proud of her because I really think that she's going to be able to contribute quite a bit to being able to take care of the sick members of her clan just in time too, because we have a lot of them. Chestnut Star currently has white cough and she is infectious. She also wonders if Pebble Paw will be chosen for the next gathering. Aww! Okay, that's a little biased because Pebble Paw is your, like, adopted daughter, but I think maybe we'll just interpret that as Chestnut Star being super excited about the potential of the kit that she has taken in as her own, maybe being able to go ahead and find a place among all of the cats of the forest, especially after Pebble Paw had such a very difficult start in life. However, don't like this white cough. Don't remember where it came from. Very concerned. And then we have Robin Fern, who wonders how Honeywing is doing with his broken back and his inability to really contribute in the way that he wishes he really could to the clan. He's a fantastic hunter. He's wise. He wishes that he could spread that wisdom with all of the cats of the clan, and yet. So we really are going to have to see where his future will go. But I think that it's safe to say, especially as Chestnut Star gets to spend potentially a little bit more time visiting with him in the medicine cat den, that he will have a safe place in Squirrel Clan for as long as he wants. And Chestnut Star did save his life when he was hit by the monster. I don't think she feels responsible for his wound, thankfully. She knows that these things happen and that he would have died if she hadn't showed up. But I do think that it would be very hard for Robin Fern, because now half a year, 2 seasons have gone by, and this seems to be his life now. So we're going to keep a close eye on him. Oh, my heart on that. Eddie Leaf, I can't believe Pepperpaw is like, or Pepperkit is like disappointed in you. I mean, you're just sick. You got clawed by a hawk, but maybe Pepperkit being a kit is like, you know, warriors should be stronger. And then Time Fawn, also grief-stricken, and he's offering to fetch herbs for the medicine cat. That's really sweet. That's really sweet. And, you know, because Time Fawn also happens to be Chestnut Star, who's sick right now, like her father. So I think that that is very sweet of them. All right, let's see what the other cats are thinking really quickly. And then we'll go ahead and we will do some patrols. We'll check on Star Clan. We'll kind of just see what's going on over here. All right, let's see. So Pouncebush wonders if Star Clan has given Primrose Pelt any prophecies lately. That's so fitting. I wonder if he thinks Primrose Pelt might have a really strong connection with Star Clan, and could she offer some insight into what it is like to like what the Whitehoff might do in camp. I actually could see Pouncebush going out with Time Fawn and Primrose Pelt to do a little bit of herb collecting because he gets very jittery around illness, and maybe Primrose Pelt will be able to tell him what the illness is going to do to his clan. Blood Fern, looking forward to today. I think he feels really relieved, finally. Our poor beleaguered Flood Fern, really relieved to finally have an apprentice, someone to help out. That has to be a huge relief after the exhausting experience that being Flood Fern and the medicine cat of Squirrel Clan has been. At least Bloom Coral hasn't been playing in the herb stores and wrecking all of them lately. Primrose Pelt is rethinking her life choices, but I think that's just because she's very thoughtful and has a bit of a strange take on what it's like to be a medicine cat. But that might have something interesting happen about it. We'll revisit that later. Just, StarClan might want to take note about that. Meanwhile, Tanglespring is mediating a couple's relationship. Okay, we're gonna have to see which couple she randomizes up in just a minute here, because that's adorable. And yeah, Robin Fur is wondering how Honeywing is doing. Time Fawn wants to go fetch herbs. Autumn Fur fortifies the camp walls for the 4th time this week. Oh, that makes me so sad. I could just imagine, since she's not actually ill, she's probably wandering camp now and then when she's not curling up in the sun near the medicine cat den, waiting for Time Fawn to come by and check on her, or for Flood Fern to gently press his nuzzle again, or like his nose into her flank just to make sure she's okay. But she probably wanders around and just does what she can to try to soothe the anxiety she feels, reinforcing the camp over and over again, just trying to be careful, because maybe if she had been just a little bit more careful. But those are the kinds of questions that, having lost a kit, she will probably ask herself the rest of her life. In contrast to those heavier thoughts is our reliable Bloom Coral, always playful, an excellent fighter, proficient in his experience, and basking in the sun. I know many of the cats often think in Squirrel Clan that perhaps he takes things too lightheartedly, but lately I've been really admiring Bloom Coral's lightheartedness, because I think it actually has its own value and its own strength, and I think it helps to uplift the spirits in the clan, even if they don't quite realize it at the moment when he once again like wrecks the camp walls or ruins a den, a little nest, because he's so busy playing. But I'm sure it's actually quite valuable. Honeywish is wondering what Chestnut Star is thinking. Very, very cute. Also probably because she's in charge of Pebblepaw, so I could see her being wondering about her leader and also wondering about the mother of her apprentice. Prancetail. Oh, look at that. Sharpening her claws. Like I said, she wants to go ahead and train right now. Her goal is to practice sparring. Flood Tuft has a runny nose. I really don't appreciate how many of these cats are getting sick. Okay, so he was in like the minor. Oh my gosh, like everybody is sick right now. This is not good. Not good at all. But he regrets not eating the bird on the fresh kill pile earlier. Probably every bird that comes in has Pebblepaw just tackling it to try to see if it has good feathers so that she can finally get those feathers and stop being jealous. Oh yeah, she's supposed to be jealous. Hang on one second. Well, we're almost to them. But we have to roll for Pebblepaw's jealousy of Plumpaw every moon until Plumpaw manages to go ahead, or Pebblepaw manages to go ahead and get some sort of cute little accessory just like Plumpaw. Eddie Leaf, yeah, wants to get to know Time Fawn better. Plumpaw is picking the burrs from their pelt, which I'm going to interpret as she's actually showing off as she rearranges her beautiful feathers. And Pebblepaw is angrily eating, probably somewhat aggressively, with tiny little, like, kitten growls, the fresh kill that she probably hoped was going to have good feathers, but alas, it did not. So let's go ahead and roll for, complicated jealousy? Okay, just 2 jealousy. Not too bad, not too bad. Maybe Pebblepaw thinks that when she's out with Honeywing, she'll have a chance to get, you know, something cool of her own. But alright, let's check on StarClan real quick. Via Heart. Currently walking in the dreams of Time Fawn. Wow, I wonder what that's about. And then we saw what Pepperpot is up to. And then Alder, following a living cat around for a bit, curious about their life. I didn't know they could do that. That's so cool. I wonder, like, I don't think she would follow a cat in the clan, but that's just interesting to think about. Let's see. And then the cat list. Moontuft hopes their friends from Squirrel Clan are doing okay. Klosky, who I don't, Chloe Sky, who now apparently has a, like, it was just Chloe, but now we're Chloe Sky, is spending the night with a friend. And Trisket Speckle, who was just Trisket and is now Trisket Speckle for some reason, is hoping that he can find something that he can go ahead and fill his belly with tonight. He is a bloodthirsty, excellent speaker, and we have a loyal, smart loner. And like I said, if we get enough cats in outside the clan, I could see Moontuft definitely uniting them into a clan of his own. So we're gonna have to keep an eye on that. But for now, let's go ahead and patrol with what cats we can. So I definitely think that I feel like Floodfern might actually stay home today and we'll have him mediate. And Primrose Pelt is going to actually go out. And Time Fawn offered to go ahead and help her. And Pouncebush is worried about, you know, the medicine, and he also wants to make sure, did Primrose Pelt have any kind of prophecies? So we'll send them out together, and then we will see which cats want to go spar, which cats want to go hunting, and then we'll mediate and see how that all works out. Primrose Pelt leads a patrol out to explore Squirrel Clan's territory and bring back any herbs they spot. Their whiskers want to twitch with every raindrop that hits them, but the clan doesn't have the luxury to sit inside away from the weather. I think everybody here would have a strong sense of duty, so let's proceed. The entire patrol mutely agrees to grit their teeth and bear it, but it doesn't stop the relief everyone feels when they settle into their nest to dry off, a rather motley assortment of herbs refreshing the medicine cat's stalks. Daisy was gathered during the patrol. Well, it wasn't a fun patrol, but at least nobody died this time. I probably shouldn't have said that before everybody went on patrol. Huh. Okay, deep breaths. Well, let's see. So, Floodtuft would definitely want to go out and train with Plumpaw. And I could see Honeywing wanting to train too. And Bloom Coral, who does he want to go out with? Let's see who he would pick. He would want to go ahead and follow Honeywing. So that's kind of adorable. And I mean, Plumpaw and Pebblepaw, because Honeywing was thinking about her leader, I think she definitely wants to take good care of being a good mentor to Pebblepaw. So let's go ahead, and I think they're going to go ahead and do some training, because Honeywing really wants to make sure that Pebblepaw is experienced and ready for the life. While out training, Honeywing stumbles upon a bush of red berries. I mean, that's great. We shouldn't eat them? Is that, I mean, no, do not eat. Honeywing decides not to touch the berries. Yes. I really should not have said at least no cat has died before we went on these patrols. Also, I think we'll go ahead and flood Tuft, even though he does indeed have a bit of a cold. It is dragging along poor little Plumpaw, who's apparently feeling insecure now. And I think that since Prancetail also wants to spar, we'll go ahead and send them all out on a training mission too. Probably should do a little bit of hunting, but this might be useful. Floodtuft wanders past an old badger set in the roots of a hazelnut tree, only to freeze. There's a new scent here, acrid and sour. Uh-oh. All right, let's see if we can do anything about that. Prancetail for sure would at least be very adventurous, but I think that probably Plumpaw is about ready to have a heart attack. Okay, I really hope this isn't going to be the reason that, like, Time Fawn and Autumn Fur are preemptively grieving. Okay. Well, the only way to know is to check. Floodtuft scrambles into the den for a look and comes nose to nose with its occupant. It's only by the grace of StarClan that they are able to redirect that speed to twist around just as fast, shedding fur in clumps as the badger's furious snarling and fizzing follows them up the burrow tunnel. Freaking Floodtuft! Jeez, okay, so I think he's okay, and that made his experience go up somewhat. I think Plumpaw is just ready to, like, faint. Like, that was too scary. Look, she's cuddling with her friend Pebblepaw now. That's adorable. But alright, so let's go ahead and mediate with a couple cats really quickly. So we're gonna go ahead and switch to mediator with Floodfern. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna have him mediate between Chestnut Star and Robin Fern. Like, I'm just gonna do it because with the romance checked, because they're both in the medicine cat den. He's having a good day, and I could see Robin Fern being very eager to go ahead and strike up any kind of conversation. All right. Romantic interest increased, trust increased, platonic like increased, respect increased, and jealousy decreased. So she's feeling a lot more comfortable around him and even starting to think a little bit romantically. And he really, really respects Chestnut Star and really trusts her quite a bit and has a lot of butterflies in his stomach about like, oh, she's really cute. Or actually, no, it would be cute. It would be that he really respects and admires her. She did save his life after all. All right, Floodfern, back to being medicine cat. And then let's see, I think the only other mediator, well, can I have her? No, she's sick right now. I think the only other mediator is gonna be Tinglespring, who is mediating a couple's relationship. So let's go ahead and see which couple that is. Autumnfur and Timefawn, is it? Okay, so she is going to be mediating with those two since Autumnfur randomized in. And respect increased, comfort increased, trust increased, dislike decreased. So they're not feeling super romantic, but Autumnfur does feel that she can rely on Timefawn. And Timefawn really loves Autumnfur to some degree and has a lot of platonic love for her. Phew! Okay. Now let's just hope that none of these cats have something horrible and dramatic happen to them. I'm kind of nervous to go ahead and roll for the moon right now because I want to make sure we'll do that next time. I know it's awful to leave you guys on such a cliffhanger, but we will do that next time. There are so many sick cats in this clan. I don't like seeing that because I want to make sure just that everything is okay with this save file before we carry on, because things are looking a little weird behind the scenes and I don't know why. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us on our adventures here in the forest of Squirrel Clan. And if you guys would like to join us for this and literally over 11,000 other adventures, I'm pretty sure that you've got the noggin. You know what to do. But I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.